here we go.
Well, grab a hold of yourself and get ready for a treat. Got a Planet Mikey podcast that can't be beat. You're invited to come on in. Today's guest is Boston's guitar legend, Jon Finn. And now, here's Mikey.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God.
This is a guitar show. Friends, don't go anywhere. You're going to enjoy this. The man coughing to my left, and he's in totally good shape aside from that little cough,
it's a little cough, yeah.
is Jon Finn, legendary guitarist and Berklee professor of guitar. Is
That's
what you
amazing.
are.
And songs are even written about me, apparently.
That's right. And you know, the good news is his performance here is not AI. It's totally live, as he always is in every scenario. Jon Finn. And by the way, this podcast is going to be fun because really his real name is Jon Fun.
That's right.
Yeah. And no
With
one...
two N's, by the way.
With two N's.
Yeah.
That's right. Jonathan M. Finn is a guy who's played with all kinds of people. Sessions, Broadway musicals. You got albums. I guess they're CDs. Now, what do they have now? They download, right?
Yeah, downloads, streams, pretty
Yes,
much.
that's right.
Yeah, most people are getting their music from streaming these days.
Let me tell you a little bit about Jon, because Jon's going to play some unbelievable guitar. He's got the guitar here. We're all hooked up, and you know, you're going to be blown away by this, my friends. But you grew up in Watertown, Westwood.
Yeah.
I get confused, you know, at
Me
my
too.
age. In fact, what's the name of this podcast again?
It's a W something.
Westwood, and you started playing guitar when you were 6?
6.
Like that's right around when the Beatles hit, right?
A little bit after.
A little bit after the Beatles.
Yeah, like I have a distinct memory of being around 5 years old, and my older sister was 13 when Ed Sullivan was hosting the Beatles.
Right.
And I just had vivid memory of her sitting like 4 inches from the television,
Mesmerized.
just going, ah,
Yeah. At the time, it was the largest record audience of any
Yeah.
television broadcast ever, 1964. Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, God, those guys are so stupid.
Well, you know, a lot of guys went out and got guitar fever when the Beatles hit, but few can excel at it the way you have. I mean, I got a guitar when I was, 10 or whatever, but I sucked. You know, the problem is playing the guitar takes a lot of practice, right?
Yes. Yes, I'm still. When I finally figure it out, I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, well, you're unbelievable. You've taught so many people in Berklee too, and to be a Berklee professor, it's a college of music. It's like hello.
Yeah, that's right.
And to be the guitar professor, and you have large groups of people that you teach the minutia of improving their guitar performance.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's something like 900 students at Berklee majoring in guitar. Wow. So yeah, I think this total student body is somewhere around 4,000.
That's heavy.
So it's like almost 25% of them are guitar players.
Yeah.
It's
See, well, that's it, because it is the greatest instrument ever.
It absolutely is.
Although I got to say this, I kind of like the piccolo.
Well, yeah, and bagpipe's pretty cool.
So you were well, yeah, but I don't have the wind for that shit. Are you
No,
kidding
me
me?
neither.
Oh. So you started playing when you're 6 years old. You've written books on the guitar and specific techniques.
Yeah.
When you were 14 years old, you had a group called Cheap Thrills.
Cheap Thrills.
Was that in admiration for Janis Joplin and the Big Brother and the Holding Company, their album Cheap Thrills, or was that not?
Well, the album is where we got the name of the band from.
Yeah.
And we did do one of the tunes we used to do as a band was the tune "Piece of My Heart," which there was a live version of that on that record.
Yeah. Piece of My Heart, by the way, that was a cover that she did.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Piece of My Heart, the original was done by Aretha Franklin's sister, and it wasn't a hit. But I think Janis Joplin took it to a new level.
Yeah, she did.
John has a huge and a very, very, I think, going to be a meaningful gig coming up at the Fallout Shelter on August 14th in Norwood.
In Norwood.
Which is a famous spot, of course. But the guy that's going to be joining you on the stage, along with Julie, your lovely and talented wife, and your band, is Joe still the bass player?
Joe Santana playing bass.
Love him.
Larry Finn playing drums. Rich Cesarini playing keyboards. And Julie's playing guitar and singing.
Koji Tsumoto.
Tsumoto, that's right.
He's maybe the greatest guitarist in the history of Japan. And if there's another one better, I don't know who it is. Do you?
No, Joe. No, Koji. Like he. I met Koji in the mid 1990s. He was a student at Berkeley, and just a couple of quick little anecdotes about Koji. So he was studying with me at Berkeley, and at the end of one of the semesters. He asks me if I teach lessons outside of Berkeley, and I said, well, yeah, I mean, I've been known to take on a couple of students here and there, and he says, okay, and then he leaves. So first day of the next semester, he's waiting up outside my office. It's like 8:00 in the morning. He's waiting there for me, and
he's on Japanese time.
So he says, John, so I came to see you about studying with me privately, and I'm looking at my calendar, and I said, Koji, I don't have any time on my schedule to teach outside. I've got a full Berkeley schedule, and he goes, okay, and then his face kind of falls, and he
was crestfallen.
And it's like, Koji, what's the matter? And he says, well, nothing. It's okay. And I said, no, Koji, what's the matter? And he says, well, I quit school so that I could dedicate all my time to our lessons.
Wow.
Right?
Oh, jeez.
So he studied with me for the next 2 years, and it was the kind of thing where I would give him an assignment to do something. Let's say, if I told him to learn one of the solos off of a Led Zeppelin album, he would come back and he will have learned all the solos on 8 albums, and he would play. So that was his workflow.
That's
like
an
he would
incredible ethic.
Just this unbelievable work ethic.
Yeah, that's amazing. So he's at a level now where I mean, you're obviously quite proud of his advancement.
Oh yeah. Well, he went back to what happened was he went back to Tokyo. And did really well as a solo performer. He was also a session guy, and then eventually he started his own guitar school called TGN, which stands for the Total Guitar Method, and he did really well there. Today he has a consulting firm that does music consulting. And they're also in Tokyo, and it's he has offices in Ginza. Now, if you know Tokyo, Ginza is, it's like pretty much like Madison Ave is for New York City. Except,
so it's a big time, high rent.
Yeah.
TGM is a company.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, it's funny that you say that because Smitty knows this. I've been complaining for a while. I was going to start a company called TBM. Total bowel movements. And because I've been having an issue. Well, I gotta say, once in a while, a little backed up. Prunes.
We all need that, though.
Okay.
I mean, it's something that everybody does. So
it's a movement.
Why not enjoy the move?
It's a movement. So August 14th at the Fallout Shelter. But before we go any further, because I want to ask you about a lot of different things, including No Static. Which is your amazing performance that you do with the tribute band of Steely Dan, No Static. Which I've seen you guys twice. I'm always blown away. Even though I've seen you twice, I said, I hope they do that again. It's pretty good stuff. But before we do that, we should take a musical break and let John play a tune.
All right.
Do you have a new album?
Yeah. Okay. So we're in the process of releasing a new album, which is why we're doing all these gigs that we get coming up. So as you said, we've got August 14th, Fallout Shelter in Norwood. We also have August 11th. This gig just came in. We're going to be playing at the Somerville Theater, opening for a guitar player named Matteo Mancuso, who's a guitar player from Italy.
Another one. He's really
so we're going to get to play a show with them too.
Well, I just wanted to warn you, too, because I've been thinking about this, as you know. You're going to be meeting a lot of people. They want to shake your hand because you're Jon Finn and you're a great guitarist and all that stuff. But be careful when you're shaking their hands because there's some people out there that are they're irresponsible when touching a guitar player's fingers. It's like you don't go up to your brain surgeon and crush his hand with a handshake. You don't say, "How are you doing?" So I want you to be careful. And if someone starts to get too crushy in the handshakes, pull your hand back because you need that.
Well, yeah. Well, on the other hand, like my next door neighbors.
On the other hand,
Use the other hand.
so that's what I do.
So, my next door neighbor was a guy named Tom who had his whole thing was, shaking your hand and crushing it.
Yeah.
So, it was a skill I learned fairly early on. Was like how to deal with that because he had this thing that he would do and it would hurt like hell.
Oh yeah, see, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
John Finn has a. So you're going to play what tunes are you going to play?
Okay, so I'm going to start.
This is fun.
This is a song called Latin Soup, and what this is, like I did a series of gigs out in Worcester with this Latin jazz big band. So if you think about 4 trumpets, 4 trombones, 5 saxophones. Drums, bass, guitar, and like a troupe of Latin percussion people, So, and it was all like, Latin music all the way through. And I think honestly, they didn't hire me because of my expertise in Latin. They hired me because I can read, But so it's just kind of playing all this music, and it was like kind of rolling around in my head. So I started to wonder, what would it sound like to kind of do some Latin-y influenced music, in a way that's kind of more like like what a rock band does. But the obvious reference there is going to be Carlos Santana, and I will say it doesn't really sound like Santana. I mean, maybe it kind of does, but kind of doesn't.
But
anyway,
it's got Latin flavor.
it's got a Latin flavor. So this is a song called Latin Soup. And hold on, gotta press a couple of
Press a
buttons.
button here. Yeah, because you're live in the studio here. There's
Live.
no.
I need that on. Need this on. Bill, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Nice.
Thank you.
You know, as you're playing that, I'm thinking, now, if I had just stuck with it, I still wouldn't be able to play that.
That's not true.
That's unbelievable, man. That's great. Jon Finn, everybody. Now, I got to ask you about these guitar guys, okay? Because you are one and a well notoriously you're like a perfectionist, aren't you?
I'm kind of a perfectionist.
You are.
And-
You don't screw around with anything that's imperfect. You just nail it.
Well, no. Well, let's say I'm continually using finer and finer grains of sandpaper. Like perfection is the ultimate moving target.
That's really, really good. And by the way, hold on to that sandpaper because sometimes you never know. Sometimes you got to buff stuff off
That's
your
right.
scrotum.
Exactly.
You know that'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I try to do it when nobody's looking.
I've that takes the fun out of it. I've been researching scrotum buffing now for years. Some of these guitarists, I'd like you to comment on these guys. First of all, I'm wearing this shirt, Jimi Hendrix.
Yes.
I can't. I was going to show the camera, but I don't know where the camera is. Oh, here it is. No, that's not. This is my oldest T-shirt. I've had it. My first concert was Jimi Hendrix.
Oh,
1960.
Let's see that T-shirt again. Oh, look at that.
That's nice.
It's Jimmy.
That's it. I wear it all along the Watchtower. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to play that riff. Hendrix in 1960, I was 14. I was like, what are these concert things? I don't know. So my friends, they had a band, and we got Hendrix tickets. First row, first balcony, Bushnell and Hartford.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Who's Jimi Hendrix?
Right.
This is what it was. It was that early. But we were a little into the Are You Experience thing. And he comes out, and they obviously, everybody was blown away because the very first note from his guitar is enough to rock your house for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So, afterwards I'm thinking, hey, these concert things, they're pretty good. They aren't bad.
Yeah, they aren't bad. It's kind of a nice thing to do,
entertaining. So that was my first show ever, and obviously guitar-oriented, but I've been looking at lists of the people say, oh, these are my top 10 guitarists of all time. Where does Hendrix rank on your list?
Oh, Hendrix is very high on my list.
Top 5?
Probably top 5. Jimi Hendrix is one of these guys who, there was rock electric guitar before Jimi Hendrix, and then JimiHendrix comes along, and everything changed after that.
Yeah, it did change things,
Yeah,
didn't it?
so-
Because Chuck Berry's obviously, and guys like him set the pace originally. As far as how about Chuck Berry's guitar work? It's hard to duck walk and play, isn't it?
No, not only is it, yes. Yeah. And the interesting thing about Chuck Berry used to do this thing where he had this pattern that he would do a lot. Let me turn that delay off. So he would do this
I
thing
recognize
where
that.
right?
Yep.
But the thing I always thought was hilarious, you listen to the record and the rhythm section is doing what's called a swing rhythm, right? So they're kind of going zoom zackadoon zackadoon zackadoon, and he's playing right. So the two ways of playing are kind of yelling at each other like the whole way through, and to me it took me a long time to sort of get comfortable with the idea that dichotomy of things is kind of what makes that cool.
Yeah, the combination of two things going on at once.
Yeah.
Some guys that are underrated too in the history of rock guitars, and I know that Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton they're going to get all the attention.
Yeah,
Hendrix,
yeah.
guys like that. But where do you put Chicago's Terry Kath before he tragically killed himself? Because he was pretty damn forceful.
Terry Kath, in my mind, probably wins the award for like most underrated electric guitar player. Like if you listen to those first couple of albums, there's
I'm a Man, yeah.
There's I'm a Man. There's a tune. There's a tune on the Chicago Transit Authority record called Freeform Guitar.
Yeah.
And it's basically 15 minutes of him just going nuts.
Yeah,
and
he could do it live too, which is a lot of guys they can in the studio they do it once, but to do it on the stage on a regular basis too.
Yes.
And he was tremendous. I saw them early and I saw them later after they became soft. But I saw them early on in the early 70s, and they were remarkable. How about David Gilmour? Now, his catalog is a little bit different. Everybody knows the Pink Floyd stuff, and his.
Yeah.
But what about his ethereal version of guitar work?
So, what David Gilmour is a master of is what I would call note choice. You know, like in other words, you know, you take take a tune like Time. The chord progression is going to be F sharp minor, A, E, F sharp. And what's so interesting is that when he solos over that, if you tear it apart, he's actually really deliberate about like what notes he lands on when the band gets to a certain chord.
Right.
Like he's not just kind of free banging it, kind of playing whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Everything
you
has
have to
its
tear-
place, right?
Yeah, like everything seems like really like surprisingly organized and surprisingly. I would say, you know, he's the sort of player that's sort of the equivalent of somebody who's like kind of soft spoken but always says kind of the right thing.
Yes, right.
You know?
right. He's right. That's that.
Yeah.
He gets it right. Now you play with No Static, and it's a tremendous show. If you ever get a chance, folks, to see No Static do a show, go, just go, and you will never be sorry. And of course, the intricacy of Skunk Baxter's work and all of the instrumentation in the Steely Dan stuff. It's very, very specific and exact, and you nail it very well. But Skunk Baxter, did you know that his roommate in his freshman year in college was James Montgomery?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes.
No, Skunk.
Isn't that weird?
That's wow. I wonder. I would love to be a fly on the wall for those conversations.
Yeah.
Because
another BU guy, though, right?
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was a BU guy, and he's originally from Connecticut. Did you know that Skunk? Here's a couple things about Skunk Baxter that nobody knows. Obviously, Steely Dan and the Doobie Brothers, they know about that.
Yep.
But recently, he's worked as a defense consultant and advised U.S. members of Congress on missile defense.
I've heard that.
What the heck? How do you go from being Skunk Baxter, guitars for rock bands, to missile defense consultant?
I can only imagine that he probably went to some, like, as a member of the Doobie Brothers, you know, he shows up at the White House or the Capitol or something like that, and gets in a conversation with somebody about missiles.
Yeah.
Right?
He's just like, up here.
You know, now, of course, when I went to the White House and talked about missiles, everybody was like, "Get him out of here!"
I went to the Patriots locker room and talked about Patriots missiles right before that guy whipped it out in front of that reporter. Remember that? Anyway, but he's a pretty amazing guy, and he's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I was just there. I was there last week at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because I went to Cleveland. I want to tell you about Cleveland. Let me tell you real quickly about what happened in Cleveland.
Tell us what happened in Cleveland.
Okay, so I go to Cleveland because I'm on the way to Ohio to see my wife's dad and her family, and I got the boys with me and my wife, and we're traveling. We're going to go direct to Cleveland and then drive all the way down southern Ohio and visit us. Okay, so what happens? What didn't happen? First of all, we had to wait for the takeoff from Logan while we waited for the flight crew to show up. So we boarded late. Then we were delayed on the runway for about 45 minutes. Then there was turbulence going down there to Cleveland. I get to the rental car, and they don't have anybody. You can rent the car, but they can't get out of the parking lot. There's one gate, and there's 19 cars waiting to get out. They had one employee letting people out. So I wait 25 minutes to get out of the gate at the rental car at Alamo. Unbelievable. What else happened? We got pizza down in Ohio from Papa John's, and it was shitty. I just thought I'd add that. I don't hate Papa John's, but I hate that particular Papa John's for shitty pizza. We're driving back up to Cleveland. Warning lights come on the dashboard. Malfunction! Danger, Will Robinson! Danger! And I said, okay, this car's going to crap out with my family on the highway somewhere outside of Cleveland. So that's so far so good. We went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and we saw first of all, the hotel we stayed at, too. I got to tell you, if there's anything worse at a hotel than sticky floors and stained carpets, $140 for stained carpets and sticky floors. I'm thinking, okay, this can't get any worse.
Did they post an hourly rate?
They really should. Actually, half-hourly rate would be better. So now I'm thinking, okay, this car is messed up. I call Alamo. They give me all these roadside assistance numbers and all helplines and all this shit to call. I call every single one of them. They said, well, we'll send a tow truck. Okay, when will the tow truck be here? Well, I get a notice on my phone, text. It'll be there in 2 hours. 2 hours. I wait 2 hours. They don't show up. Next morning, they still haven't shown up. To take the car away, they promised me an Uber ride to the airport. So we're waiting for the tow driver. The fire alarm goes off in the hotel, the shitbox hotel I was staying in, and the fire department comes. And there's like, woo! And everybody in the building is out there in the parking lot now because they had to empty the building, right?
Right, of course.
I said to the guy, well, he says, false alarm. Someone pulled a fire alarm. Now, this is all in one little short trip. The nightmare with the car didn't end there. I got paraded around all different things. Anyway, the answer is I got home safely, and now I'm here with you boys, and I'm fine now.
Thanks,
but
Mike.
it was a shit trip from hell. The good news is Grandpa got to see his grandsons, my boys, and we got back safely, and there was no crash.
There was no crash.
You know, after all that stuff, I thought this plane is definitely going to crash on the way into Logan. It's got to.
No, you can't think that way.
No,
the pilot wants to get there.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Unless he's Pontius Pilate.
Well, yeah, that's.
And then you don't know. Jon Finn is here. He's got. I'm going to mention again the 14th at the Fallout Shelter in Norwood. Be there for that, and it's a 7:00 show.
7:00 show. Yep.
7:00 show down there.
And there's 4 tickets still available.
4?
No, I don't know.
No, okay. I said I can get the other 3 people immediately.
I like to think positive.
The other thing I didn't mention was, and we're going to send Jon Finn, as we always do, a My Grandma's Coffee Cake. What flavor do there's blueberry, there's regular cinnamon walnut, there's Ted Williams chocolate, there's Granny Smith apple. They have pineapple coconut. What flavor would Jon Finn?
I would say the Granny Smith apple.
You want that one?
Don't you think?
Okay, we're
Don't you
going to
think
ship
that
that out directly to
Oh
your
my
house,
God,
and they
that's
get there fresh. Now you've played with Dweezil Zappa.
Yes.
Now that's for those that don't know, youngsters watching tonight on the podcast on YouTube. By the way, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on iHeart, we're on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button.
Yeah,
would be good.
just do that, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get a new T-shirt, and I think I need one now after how many years of this one?
Oh God.
You played with the musicals Rent and Mamma Mia.
Yep.
So you know all the ABBA tunes.
Well, at the time I knew them.
Oh, so you've forgotten them.
All I remember now is. And that's it.
Well, I remember the 2 blonde singers in ABBA, right? The two women.
Yes.
I can't tell you that I remember the guys in ABBA.
Yeah, well,
But ABBA is a palindrome, so I like palindromes.
right.
Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. You played for that.
yep.
Now I met Donny Osmond.
You did.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a thrill. Of course, I said to him the obligatory, "So, how's Marie?"
Right.
I see her on those
Of course
commercials.
you
She's
did.
still looking pretty good.
Okay.
So Donnie, I said, he's probably used to that because nobody gives a shit about Donnie. They care more about Marie. So I see him at the elevator at Fenway. Hey, Donnie, he was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. But you were the guitarist for that in Rent, Mamma Mia. Did I forget any? Oh, Copacabana.
Yeah. So there's a not a very well known play written by Barry Manilow called Copacabana, which is based on his song. And when I first got the offer to do that show, it was like 2 weeks at the Schubert Theater in Boston. And I'd be playing in the pit, and I thought, oh God, Copacabana, But I got to tell you, it's one of these shows that nobody knows about, and it's absolutely hilarious.
It's a good show.
It's
huh?
a great show. The music is really good. Barry Manilow wrote all the music. Like he's
he can't write.
No, he can. No, it's not like he can write catchy tunes or anything.
And he came out and he's gay. Barry Manilow. I heard he was going to do a gay version of that musical called Coppa Banana.
Oh no. You went there, didn't you?
Just for fun. No.
I'd like to apologize for the behavior of our host, John.
It's a joke. His name was Rita. She did the samba.
Yeah.
You know, it was 30 years ago when they used to have a show. I don't know.
Yeah, but that play has one of the greatest lines. There's at one point one of the characters just sort of stops and says, "You know, once the milk is in the bucket, you can't squirt it back into the cow."
You can, but it's so hard to do.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's very hard to do. Now, speaking of having a show 30 years ago, I had a TV show 30 years ago on NECN called Sports World, and
Yes.
Jon Finn came on the show with Joe, the bass player,
Yep,
and
Joe
became
Sanchez.
just a temporary, hilarious cooperative house band for a few episodes of our show. But it was memorable for, obviously, because you could get up there and just play anything, anytime, and no problem. And it's a live TV show, and I didn't know what you were going to do. It was just great. And we have, I believe, right, Smitty?
I think in a minute.
In a minute,
Oh, yeah, we got it.
a video excerpt from that. And now you'll notice that John's hair and my hair are totally different colors 30 years ago than they
Yeah.
are today. You
That's
ready?
That's true.
I think so. Hold on.
All right, we're going to try to hit play. You know, time. Here it is.
It's a little song I wrote not 5 minutes ago. And John and Joe, it's a song about Jen and Reno. Ready?
Yeah, see, you look exactly the same.
The hair, yeah, sure.
Jen and Reno. Jen and Reno. She's obsceno. But she's keno. It's Jen and Reno. Hey, yeah. The nicest thing I ever seen. And when she goes to Taco Bell, baby, yeah, you know she always brings her vino. She may be Attorney General. She may want to outlaw Keno. But that's okay with me-o, cause her name is Janet Reno. She's a Mino, yeah. Wild, hot, sexual machino. I wanna go now. I wanna leave now. And go between-o. Oops. Yeah, oh yeah. Go, guys, go. Janet Reno! Yeah! Oh, baby. We got one more verse? Okay. Well, Janet's friends with Bill Clinton. They spend hours and hours. If he'd known all about her, why would he need Jennifer Flowers? Janet Reno. Hey! Yeah! Janet Reno!
Now, of course, this is off the top of his head.
Yes,
She may look ugly to you, but to me, she's the prettiest thing I've ever seen. Oh, yeah! John and Joe, baby. That'll be on our next pop-up video. It's been a while since anything popped up for me, but
There they are.
thank you, gentlemen.
And you
Very
and-
good.
and
Very good. These guys
Joe's
can
still
play,
with
I'll
you.
tell
Joe's still with Joe and I.
know,
Joe
Barry
is
Manilow's got nothing
the best
on me.
bass player on planet Earth, and I'm so fortunate that he's still
Great.
willing
Nice
to play.
guy,
us.
too.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So, such a
Your
nice
whole
guy.
band is a bunch of good guys. I've
Yeah.
seen you guys, in all kinds of elements, and no one ever changes their attitude. It's
Yeah.
always the right and a good attitude. Well, Jon M. Finn. I have a brother named Jonathan. He's born in '57.
Okay.
And he worked at HBO for a while, and I don't see him unless he needs something.
Oh, well, that's what brothers are for.
Now, we have a segment that's a news segment. I want you to play another song too before we end this episode.
Wait, can I give a shout out to somebody?
Yeah,
You know who
Of
it
course.
is. You know who it is.
the painter.
This guy right here.
You see his house. You see his studio's being
Oh,
painted.
look at that! Oh, yeah.
Is that the color it's going to be?
That's going to be that color. Yeah.
Hello Kitty stickers and everything.
It's a very light bluish gray. Yeah, it looks really nice.
It does.
And this guy, I'm telling you, as you say, Mike, we only advertise people who are credible.
That's right.
This guy.
And this guy, I can tell by the work he's done already. He's a good.
He's nuts with the prep work. He says that's the key to a great paint job is the prep work.
That's right.
He's done great work. So I just want to say thank you, Danny. Keep it up, man. You're
Yeah.
doing a fine job.
He's doing a good job on the house.
Yeah, it looks great.
Now, before we hear another tune from the masterful Jon Finn, I want to do a news story because what kind of podcast would I be doing if I didn't do at least one news story?
Did you say news?
News. And now, the news. I'm Mike Adams reporting live from Sudbury, Massachusetts, and the palatial Pelham Island studios. You know, you got Abbey Road, you got Pelham Island Road.
That's right.
Which is better? I
Just
think
Pelham
Pelham
Island.
I agree. All right, we got a picture of this guy.
Yeah, we do. Hold on.
All right, here's the story.
Here he is.
This is Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Dateline. 2 fast food restaurant workers who were robbed at gunpoint by a man wearing a ski mask identified the suspect as a former co-worker, according to reports. The East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office reported that Cleveland Willis, seen here, 28, was arrested in connection with the October 3rd armed robbery of a KFC. According to the arrest warrant, the victims told investigators that although the suspect was wearing a ski mask, they could tell it was Willis because they had worked with him for several months.
Oh, no. So he worked there?
The warrant stated the suspect walked into the business wearing all black and a black ski mask over his face. He reportedly pointed the gun at the head of one of the workers, pulled back the hammer, and demanded money. Authorities said both workers opened the cash registers, handed him over a total of a little more than $600. One of them said, "Cleveland, is that you?" During the robbery, he replied, "No, it's not me." According to the warrant, the victims reported they recognized the robber because of his voice and his features of his face visible through the holes in his mask, but they worked with him. Charged with armed robbery, his bond has not been set. But how did... Is that you? No, it's not me. No, that's not me. So that guy's a loser, and he's in jail. Probably. I mean, if he's not. You know what? They probably have already let him out.
Probably.
You know how things work.
I do.
So Jon Finn's going to do a guitar song from his new release,
Yep.
and then I have a special treat too for all of you fans of the Joe and Jerry Castiglioke we do, because I was in Piqua, Ohio, and I got this thing
Wait
going.
a minute. Isn't Piqua the home of the Mills Brothers?
The Mills Brothers,
Yeah.
yes, who were famous for a number of tunes, Yellow Bird and, Cab Driver.
Cab Driver, yeah.
Yeah. We're going to do a Joe and Jerry rendition of the Mills Brothers because I was in Piqua and they had this giant tribute wall to the Mills Brothers, and no one knows that the Mills Brothers came from Piqua. No one even knows or gives a shit what is a Piqua.
man.
And you know what, too? If you haven't heard of the Mills Brothers, check it out. Like you'll be doing yourself. I discovered the Mills Brothers maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I knew about them, but I didn't really give it a good look.
Happy
until about 5 years
harmonies.
ago. Oh my God.
Yeah, and delightful voices, and
Yeah.
now no one knows except Jon Finn, me, and everybody watching.
And we're going to change that.
All right, so here's Professor Jon Finn, who's playing August 14th
Yep.
Yeah.
at the Fallout Shelter with Koji Tsumoto,
Sumoto. Yes.
the greatest Japanese guitarist that we know of
Yes.
anywhere in the world. But here's Jon Finn with, what's this tune called? I like that,
So-
by the way, I like that Latin soup.
Yeah, thank
It made
you.
me want to go out to Taco Bell. It made me want to go watch West Side Story and have a burrito.
Well, it's kind of like evidence of how much I like to steal music from other people. So here's another example of the same kind of thing.
Okay.
So this next song is called "When Ray Comes to Town," and the Ray that I'm talking about is Ray Charles.
Oh.
So kind of what this song is it's Georgia on My Mind, but with a different melody and different chords, and everything else is different. So it sounds it sounds like Sweet Georgia on My Mind, only it's different.
Okay, different state maybe.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Nope, not that one. Wait, here we go.
My mic's on.
There we go.
It's, John, you're a gifted person, and your gifts are a gift to us. You know, not many people can do that. Holy shit, that's great, man.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Now, how can people get this music on the internet or at how can they access you?
Okay, so all of our previous catalog is available on any of the streaming platforms. So Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music.
Jon Finn Band?
It'd be Jon Finn Group, actually.
Group, yes, of course.
Yeah. So JONFINN. You know, just go on any of the streaming platforms and look it up. It's even on all the stuff is even on YouTube. So these tunes that we're playing are on the upcoming album that has yet to be released. So
will you keep us posted as to so we can alert our audience as to how and to obtain?
Who are the guys on the album? Who the backing tracks sound great.
Well, thank you. So okay, so the drummer is Larry Finn.
Yep.
Bass
No
player-
relation.
Yeah, no relation, believe it or not. Although we call ourselves, he's my brother from another mother.
Finn twin.
Finn twin. And let's see, bass player is Joe Santerre, who has been a partner in crime for, since
30 years.
1982, if you can believe it.
Even longer. Wow.
So the other guitar parts are played by my wife, Julie Finn.
Who's been on this podcast with you
yeah,
in
who
the past.
came-
You know, she
Yeah,
surprised me, man. Here she comes.
She's great.
Slender, quiet, demure.
Lovely.
She's very pretty, and I'm thinking, oh,
And
it's a little-
clearly nearsighted.
slender fingers, the whole thing. And she sits down, and she's a monster like you on the
She's
guitar.
Yeah,
tremendous.
she's terrifying
Yeah.
on guitar. She really is.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
definitely
she's in the band, and you got the Koji thing coming up on the 14th.
And then we also have Rich Cesarini playing keyboards also.
yeah.
So
that's the band.
So that's
We're
the band.
Talking a little bit about the band. Now, I'm happy to have you here. Obviously, you know we've been friends a long time.
Yeah.
And you're an unbelievable inspiration to excellence.
Wow.
Excellent also is something that's been really highly regarded and reviewed is our feature that we do at the end of each podcast, which is musical. And by the way, you can play along with this, but Joe and Jerry have insisted that you, at least if you want to, be a part of this presentation they have as a tribute to the Mills Brothers.
Okay.
And Joe and Jerry, as you know, we do this thing called Castiglioke.
Okay.
And it's two very famous broadcasters, sound alikes, who are going to do Cab Driver.
Okay.
Do you know that one? You'll figure it out.
I'll know it in a minute.
Yeah. He's good at figuring shit out, this Jon M. Finn guy. So Joe and Jerry and Cab Driver with Jon Finn on guitar and the Mills Brothers as the inspiration. And thanks for listening, everybody. Clicks. Clicks. Cab Driver. Drive by Mary's place. I like it when she sits up on my face. I hope she don't spray me with that can of mace. Hey, cab driver. Drive by Mary's place. True. Cab driver. Once more around the block. That Viagra makes me hard as a rock. I keep all my rubbers in my sock. Cab driver, once more around the block. It's your turn, Joe. Cab driver, once more down the street. I hope she keeps her socks on. She's got ugly feet. But her feet ain't as ugly as my meat. Cab driver, once more down the street, can you believe it? Cab driver. Oh, let's let Jon Finn play. by the door. Perhaps I'll bang her on her couch once more. I sure hope her boyfriend's gone, just like before. Cab driver! She's a freaking whore! Cab driver! You better take me home! I guess I'll do what the Romans did back in Rome. I'll take a bath and play with my crazy foam. And I guess I'll have to spank the baldy dome. Cab driver! Better take me home. Wackadoo, wackadoo, wackadoo. I guess I was meant to be alone, Joe. Yes, you were, you dirtbag piece of crap. Cab driver, dump this guy off. He's pissing me off. Cab driver, better take me home.
I go music karaoke.
Stop.